Hi guys, so today I want to discuss Megyn Kelly having a meltdown over Diddy's acquittal. I kid you not, you're about to see for yourselves. And I'm here to call her out on her hypocrisy, just like I did Countess Owens a while back about her stance on Diddy. I'm doing the same thing with Megyn Kelly because I cannot with the hypocrisy. I can't. So I'm going to show you clips. The first clip is her reaction about Diddy's acquittal, and the second clip it's about her reaction about Trump's conviction. I mean, yeah. Without further ado, why don't we get right into it? Let's watch her having a temper tantrum about it.
Combs's body language is totally different from yesterday when he seemed crestfallen and grim after the jury said it had reached a verdict on 4 of the 5 counts. Now, acquitted of the most serious charges, Mr. Combs appears energetic and relieved. Can we just talk about, here's the picture, here's the sketch artist's picture of Combs yesterday, of the grimness, and I'm sure we'll get...
And why shouldn't he feel relief? Huh? He was just being acquitted, on a few charges. The charges that could have gotten him life. So you're mad because he felt relieved?
Today of him looking much more relieved. I'm so confused about, here's a little bit more, New York Times, with a touch of levity. The judge said he assumed Combs would not want to return to the Brooklyn jail where he has been held. Combs shook his head vigorously and put his hands together in prayer. Oh, it's all just so chummy inside the courtroom for this disgusting pervert female abuser who
it has to be a joke. It has to be a joke. Megyn Kelly being mad at Diddy for being acquitted, calling him women abuser, disgusting. The same Megyn Kelly who blindly supports Trump, who doesn't believe any of the 19 women who accused him, who doesn't believe Agent Kelly when he accused Trump of raping her, and Trump was convicted of that crime. But here she is calling out P. Diddy. I can't be the hypocrisy, people. I just can't. The stuff I could have said, I just don't want YouTube on my back. But no, let's continue watching this, people.
Can't believe is about to roam our streets again. I'm sorry, I'm disgusted by this verdict. This is fucking ridiculous. I just find it absolutely outrageous, the amount of crime that this guy just got away with. I believe he committed arson. He definitely battered Cassie. He battered Jane too. The statute of limitations for battery in Los Angeles, California is 1 year. 1 year. So if they didn't charge him for battery within 1 year, and they couldn't because he bought the tape and it remained hidden thanks to those security guards out there, then they could never charge him with that again. There's no question. He dragged her back into that hotel room. Why wasn't that kidnapping? They only talked about the kidnapping of Capricorn Clark, who was his sort of main assistant, because she said he grabbed her and made her go with him over to Kid Cudi's house. There's no question he broke into Kid Cudi's house, in my view, and that he opened up the Christmas presents and locked the door in and made a threat. There's no question in my mind he was behind the arson of Kid Cudi's car, and there was proof, plenty of proof to prove that. There was female fingerprints they found on that, the firebomb that was left there, the Molotov cocktail. And the prosecution said there's no question he didn't do it himself.
Here you are, having this meltdown, being that angry, but you support Trump. So you don't believe any of the accusations against Trump, but you believe the accusations against Diddy. Why is that, Megyn? Why is that? Huh? Can you tell us? Can you enlighten us? Or at least, I cannot speak for everybody. Can you enlighten me? Explain that to me. Why would you believe all the accusations against Diddy, but not those of Trump, who was convicted of 92 counts? So you don't believe any of them, not a single one of them. You have the goal, you have the audacity to even have an opinion about Diddy being acquitted when you support Trump? Girl, get the F out of here.
But He said, I'm going to bomb Kid Cudi's car. It's in writing. Cassie Ventura emailed her mother saying, oh my God, he's threatening to bomb his car. And 2 weeks later, it got bombed. Oh, gee. It was just some third party who also had, it's just like the proof was there. The beatings, the threats that if they didn't go back into those rooms and get off with these male escorts, that they were going to get beaten. The testimony from that Daniel Phillip, who was the male escort, who heard Combs abusing Cassie behind the door. And she was screaming, I'm sorry.
Oh, spare me. You don't give a F about Cassie. You don't care about her. Please. Please, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You are so against feminists. Now you're pretending that you care. You care about, oh, I care about Cassie so much. I care about the women that did it. Why did you care about the 19 women that came out against her? Megyn? Huh?
Sorry, as he heard him slapping her, get back out there. She came back out. She was shaking. She got back into the escort's lap, physically shaking. She was so scared to the point where that guy couldn't perform sexually because this was so horrifying to him. What in the actual F went on in there?
Oh, what in the actual went on in there? Really? Let me tell you what went on in there. What went on in there, Megyn, is the jury didn't believe these witnesses. You know why? Because they had a vendetta against Diddy. They were out to get him. This is why the jury has found him not guilty on the most important charges that could have gotten him life. Instead, they only found him guilty on the pen charges. Okay, this is what the F went on in there. Okay, so if you have a problem with that, take it with the jury. Now, let's get into the clip where we see Megyn Kelly having a very different reaction. Yeah, almost cry, people. I'm not even kidding. You're about to see for yourself. Watch this.
Is ridiculous. What a sad day. The country's been disgraced. That's what's happened. Alvin Bragg and this judge have disgraced the country. We made it, what? Almost 250 years without doing this. And now, because of falsified business records, we've convicted, as a felon, a former president of the United States. You don't think we could have done something like this to Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton?
A jury of his peers convicted him. Megyn. Not the Democrats.
Clinton or others. We had a standard. We didn't do this in America. We aren't a banana republic, or at least...
Because no other president was a crook. That's why it didn't happen before. Well, Nixon, yeah. Probably Nixon was Nixon. Yeah, Nixon was definitely a crook. But even his crookness was nothing bigger compared to Trump's crookness. Yeah.
Didn't used to be. And don't forget what's happened in this Trump case, in which he's now been found guilty of all 34 counts against him, which was overcharged to begin with. It shouldn't have been a case at all. And once charged, it should have been 1 count. The whole case boils down to the same alleged scheme, but they stretched it into 34 counts by saying, and that check, and that check, and that check, and that invoice, and that invoice. It was all part of your scheme. So now he looks like Al Capone, convicted on these 34 counts. But
because he is Al Capone. Megyn, yes, your guy is definitely Al Capone.
Idea, all along, was to stop him from becoming president again.
You got that right. But unfortunately, they failed.
That's the idea behind this prosecution. That is the idea behind Letitia James bankrupting his company that he built, and along with his dad, from the ground up in New York, the city that just turned on him. That was the idea behind E. Jean Carroll and her sexual assault case brought 30 years after the fact.
Oh, you see, she doesn't believe E. Jean Carroll, but she believes all the other women that came out against Diddy. But E. Jean Carroll He's a liar. All the 19 women that came out are liars. Right, Megyn?
Alleging a sexual assault / rape in a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room, a case she couldn't even remember the year of the alleged rape in. And that's the idea behind Fannie Willis and Jack Smith ×2. Stop it. Stop him. Stop Trump. Why did they wait?
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
That Megyn Kelly standard for the president of the United States, you know? Below the belt, that's her standard. Yeah, people, this is her standard for the president of the United States, you know? Being friends with pedophiles, being friends with all crooks, that is, yeah. But here she is on Diddy's back, condemning him, even though the jury has found him not guilty on the charges that could have gotten him life. But Megyn is not happy about that, because for her, Diddy should have spent the rest of his life in prison. But she's disgusted with Diddy's acquittal. And it's not even an acquittal, because he still could do a lot of time for the other two charges. The judge could decide to give him a maximum. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for him that the judge just let him out with time already served. Maybe he would give him a year. That is my wish. But is it what's going to happen? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I believe the judge might go for the maximum. The jury has found him not a danger to society, so he deserves a second chance. He does deserve a second chance. And if the judge decides to go with the maximum, like to give him 5 years or 10 years, I believe the other criminal in the White House should pardon him. Absolutely, I believe Trump should go ahead and pardon Diddy. He should pardon him because he too has gotten away with charges that he was convicted of. And what was his reward? Instead of going straight to prison, he went straight to the White House. That was his reward. And this Queen Bee sat there and eviscerated this black guy. Why? When your white guy is president and you wanted the black guy to go spend the rest of his life in prison, the last thing I want to say in that matter is, Megyn, shut up. Shut up. If you want to be mad at someone that has gotten away with crimes, be mad at Trump. That's the only one that has gotten away with crimes. Hypocrisy is so latent. So yeah, that is what I wanted to say on the matter, people. You let me know in the comment section what you think of Megyn Kelly coming out against it when you saw the meltdown she had when Trump got convicted. So yeah, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, ciao, ciao.